Cześć, witajcie. Znajdujemy się dzisiaj w Peckforton Castle, nieopodal Liverpoolu, gdzie pokazywany jest nam RuneScape 3. I dzisiaj będziemy mieli okazję pograć troszeczkę w grę, zapytać twórców o kilka szczegółów na jej temat. No i przede wszystkim dobrze się bawić w klimacie średniowiecznym, bo miejscówka jak najbardziej do takich zabaw zachęca. Tak więc zapraszam na moją krótką i naszą krótką, czyli redakcji Gamezilli, relację.
I think the main benefit for us for HTML5 is that we can have a much more accessible way of entering the game. Java's been fantastic for us over the last 12 years, but one thing it's meant is that you have to download Java for it to work. And what HTML5 enables us to do is that with a modern browser, you can jump into the game, go to RuneScape.com and enter the game straight away. There's no plugin to download. And what it also enables us to do is utilize WebGL to the most, and the technological advantages that gives us as well. So the graphical updates we can apply to the game as well. So you've got the water, the clouds, all of the shadows, things like that really we couldn't do before in Java. So it just enables us to do much more from a development perspective, which is really awesome.
Okay, so our philosophy with microtransactions is to make sure that they don't really affect the game in a major way. So they're not broken, as our players would refer to them. They don't stop you progressing in the game at all at any point. They're entirely optional, and most of them are cosmetic actually. So if you want your character to look really cool, then you will purchase a microtransaction. They're not forced on you in any way at all.
From the beginning, we want to aim as low as possible. We've always had that with Java, and it's the same philosophy for HTML5 as well. The important thing we're doing right now is getting it into the hands of as many different players as we can, and as many different machines, so that we can test it and optimize it based on the feedback that we get. So the important thing is that we're just aiming as low as we possibly can at the moment, and we don't at the moment have that baseline, but it's going to be as low as possible. I think it's been fantastically influential in the way that we understand how our player base interacts with the game and what we can bring to the game to make sure our player base continues enjoying RuneScape as they always have, and also knowing that how the rest of the gaming community works as well, and how we can bring really awesome features to them that other games don't really necessarily provide. So I think that's really helped us, and the history of the game is something that also is a massive asset. So it's not like launching a new MMO where you're racing to create content. We've already got 9 to 12 years of awesome content that can be played right out of the box. Not even out of the box, right out of the browser.
Okay, so at the moment we have a beta for our HTML5 engine, and we also have an alpha for our interface system. And we're taking the feedback of our players on while they're playing these beta and the alpha as well, and changing how we develop the content based on that feedback. Players can then vote to say whether they want these features in their game, and if they get 75% of the people who voted, then those features go in the game. And same with the world events that we're having in RuneScape 3. Player choice is really, really important. How they interact with the content in the game is going to affect what happens in the game. It can affect a player on an individual level. In our quest, The World Wakes, their choices throughout that quest dictated who died in that quest. So some players have certain NPCs still alive in the game for them. Others, those NPCs don't exist anymore. They died in the quest, and that was quite an emotional thing for them. We're trying to sort of implement stuff like that going forward, because it's important that RuneScape should be your own adventure, and little choices like that, they help to craft it towards something that you feel is very personal to you, and very unique experience. And we're taking aspects like that on a smaller level and then on a bigger level with entire community voting on things as well.
HTML5 brings us complete unbridled accessibility. The ability to just jump straight into the game straight from the browser is something that none of the other major MMOs can really do, or even compare to. So there's no download up front. You can jump straight into the game. Also, like I said before, we've got this massive amount of content out of the box or out of the browser, so you don't have to wait for content to come in weeks down the line or months. You can just jump straight into some of the awesome content that's already there. Other than that, you can customize the game in the way that you want to. So if you're interested in a particular type of gameplay within RuneScape, you can customize the interface the way that suits you. You can change how you play the game based on your choices as well. And there's also a wealth of different choices out there as well within the gameplay. Something that we found really interesting is the lack of classes. So most of the other MMOs are pretty derivative in the way that they deliver a class system. So you're a healer, you're a mage, you're a tank. We don't have any of that. What we want to focus on is the player's evolution of their character throughout the experience. So that journey throughout the RuneScape life in evolving their character and picking up skills across the way. And that's something that we don't think anyone else is really delivering at the moment. The technological work we've been doing has enabled us to look beyond the borders of the browser in the future. But tablets are on the horizon, but it's something we're not really talking about too much at the moment. But it's in the future of RuneScape.